Okay, welcome everybody to another edition of Talk with an Expert with Inside Literature. Today we're going to be talking with Brian. Brian is an actor based in LA. Welcome, Brian.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me on. And I love the work you do. I'm a fan of yours too. So
Thank
thanks for having me.
you.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right in. How did you get into acting and comedy?
It was something that I was always inclined to. So at the end, it's a boring answer just because it's something that I've always done. But yeah, something kind of drew me to wanting to be a performer. Maybe it was being an only child and wanting to cry out for attention and have people notice me. So I think that's where it started. But yeah, kind of, even if that's what I wanted to do from day one, wanting it and the steps it takes to do it successfully are two totally different things, which is what I learned way later in life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, what are the skills that you needed to work on as you embarked on a career in acting and comedy?
I worked on like the flowery stuff first. I worked on the acting technique first. I worked on the performance side of it. But really, acting and stand-up is extremely rooted in the human experience. So it's like I put the icing before the cake. Like, the cake should be you and your experience and what grounds you and what makes you interesting. And then once I did bake the cake, the older I got, because I had challenges in my life and I had stuff that I had to overcome and difficulties, then I was able to be a way better actor than I was when I was just focusing on acting. So my advice to people who want to get into acting is live your life first and then add the technique and everything else later. And it's an industry, it's out there, it's accessible. You can find the right people to contact and reach out to make those inroads to launch your career eventually.
That's great. So, what is the scariest part of performing?
I don't know, what scares me and what scares other people, I think, are different things.
Yeah.
So I think by definition, actors are a little sick in the head already. So the things that scare me probably don't scare most people, and things that scare most. So a lot of people are afraid of rejection and auditions and public speaking. And I don't really fear public speaking. And at the end of the day, I've done so many auditions. It's just being in a room of 5 other better looking versions of you. So that's pretty jarring the first time you come across it, but after a while you get used to it because you know these guys over time. So I guess the scariest part would be like when I was coming up, I was always comparing myself to my more famous and successful friends. But then comparison is the thief of joy. And then once I stopped comparing my career to other people's, my peers, and I just focused on my own career, and things got way better because I was only competing with myself. So be competitive with yourself. But yeah, the scariest part for me in acting was the comparison issue. But once you overcome that, you can really find a lot of joy in it.
Excellent. And that brings us to our next question. What is your favorite part about performing?
I love the uncertainty. I do love the fear. I love giving the director, giving whoever's watching something that they might not have been expecting. So I like surprising people because it feels like sometimes everything that has been made or is going to be made has been made, which we all know is not true. There's a quote from like 1900 that said, everything that's been invented has already been invented. And it's the same thing for acting and entertainment, which, first of all, obviously that's not true. And in acting, it's like we feel like we've seen the same movie, but there's new stuff getting made all the time. So I just love making stuff that surprises people, stuff that just kind of turns you on its head and makes you, go a little bit deeper inside your own mind for a second, because so much stuff that we're given is very surface level and kind of tries to trick you into thinking that it's good.
Yeah, I totally see that in a lot of media.
Not just not just like film and everything. Like this can apply to politics. This can apply to anything where you're trying to influence people.
Right. Bringing in new ideas, surprising people in this way. Yeah.
It's what
So
keeps us growing.
it is. So you brought up auditioning earlier. What is an audition like?
Really depends on what you're going for. So, I'd audition for a lot of commercials. That was very easy for me because they really just want to see you light up on camera, so they'll record. They'll ask you a question, but they're not looking for the answer, they're looking for how you answer it. So that's the thing. You audition the second you walk through the door. You're auditioning because they're not hiring your acting, they're hiring the actor, they're hiring the person behind all the acting technique.
Mhm.
So you need to prove that not only are you a good actor, but that you're going to be enjoyable to be around and that you can be collaborative. So what I see is a lot of people walk into an audition room and they're very stiff when they walk in the audition room. I'm like, hi, I get to see you. And they kind of just, you can smell the desperation. And then they do their audition. And even if their audition is good, the fact that it was bookended by this really awkward human interaction means they're not going to pick you. So, from the moment you step in, you want to be someone that they want to pick. They want to find someone who's going to be the solution to their problems. So you just got to walk in thinking, I am what you're looking for. And here's what I bring to the table.
Yeah, that sounds like good advice for any job interview, really. You're performing the minute you walk into that interview or that audition. You're showing them what kind of candidate you are.
People hire for very arbitrary reasons.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, we thought he'd be a good culture fit.
Mm-hmm.
Is always the reason that I hear the most in my corporate professional life and in the acting world.
Right.
Yeah.
So, how do you deal with the rejection that comes along with a career in performance? Like if you do an audition and you think it went really well, but you don't get the part, how do you deal with that?
You just get numb to it. You
Uh-huh.
do. And then you see that commercial later and you see who they did cast. And kind of my own way, I don't know, there are times where I'll watch commercial audition for that someone else is in. That guy does so well. I'm like, that was good. Like, I would have chosen him. And then sometimes I see someone who I know I could have done a better job in. And then that's my own time to just be kind of shitty. And I'll just be like, this guy sucks. I would have killed that. So yeah, you just gotta laugh at it because it's an absurd industry. And like I've worked way harder than a lot of people who have been more successful than me. And there are people who worked harder than me who are not as successful as me. So you just have to accept how much of it is out of your control. You're playing the odds. You're always trying to stack the odds in your favor, but that only goes so far when you're not the decision maker on every project that you audition for.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you've been talking about auditioning for commercials and such. I know you make comedy videos with your friends and colleagues,
Mhm.
and I wondered if you could tell me more about what goes into making one of those videos.
Yeah. I don't know how much familiarity many watching this video might have with production or film, anything. Maybe some people have some experience who'll be watching, but it's not sexy. It's not cool or fun. But you have to really enjoy it because film moves very slow, and it is watching sausage getting made, and not in a fun way. It's a lot of time setting up lighting, a lot of time setting up camera. But when you're doing it with people that you love, like I'm doing this with my best friend from childhood, and he's a filmmaker. And we both kind of like went on these paths. And now that we're older and have the skills between us to like really make a project we're both proud of, it's fun to have that that painful process is not fun for me because I'm able to joke about it with my friend while we're performing it. We get to try new stuff. We get to do different takes. We get to push the envelope. We get to say, oh, should we say that? Yeah, we should say that. We get to like just be boys for a second, and that's in that specific, the films that I make with Matt. Bill Murray awarded him something for a short film at a
Wow.
film festival. Yeah, but for everything else, it is about enjoying. You have to enjoy being on set. You have to enjoy the process. You have to enjoy the people that you're working with.
Yeah, because a lot of people might think, oh, a career in acting, how glamorous and easy. Learn some lines, pretend to be somebody else. But as you said, it's a slow, grueling process to make a film.
If you make it in this industry not on your terms, you're going to have a terrible time.
Yeah.
So more than the really shallow definitions of success, there are shortcuts I could have taken, but I didn't and don't because it would really bum me out because I would not be happy with who I am.
Yeah, and when you're in a creative industry like this, you really need to be true to what you want to do.
The second you start giving a little bit of your soul for some commercial success, the second you start doing that, the less happy you are. It's just the truth. Um, so I don't know, there's a give and take. Like,
Yeah.
obviously we're all here to get paid. Like, obviously if Marvel comes calling, I'm gonna take that gig, right? But I'm sure they're gonna have some kind of clause in a contract when dealing with Disney, Marvel, that will have some kind of restriction on my life that I never considered. And hopefully it wouldn't be too much to fully depress me. But these are the questions that I hope to be presented with one day. These are the challenges that I hope they
I
put me
hope
through.
one day I have to decide whether or not to sell my soul to Disney.
Exactly. Every actor wants that chance. They
Yeah.
want that decision. Yeah. And I think 100% of actors think that they'd be like, I would keep my integrity, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a lot harder when the golden ticket is right in front of you and all you have to do is take it, right?
Much easier said than done.
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
and so Brian, you were in a feature film called Tejano that's on
yeah.
HBO. Can you tell
Mm.
us about that experience? Just any insight you have, any thoughts?
It's a piece of art that I'm most honored. It was one of the best things I've done. It's like I'm so happy to have been a part of that. I don't know how popular it's going to make me with this crowd because I played a corrupt border patrol agent in it, and those aren't the most well liked people. And I'm like a pretty unsavory character, all things considered. But
What is that
really
like
beautiful.
to play an unsavory character? Someone whose views you disagree with, someone you would not want to be.
Yeah, I mean, partly I do have a face that you just want to punch, so that goes hand in hand with this. So I do actually tend to play a lot of bad guys when I do get cast in films and narratives because I don't know. There's something about my smile you just don't trust. Someone once said like you're like a coyote because you're always smiling, but I don't know why. And but Tejano, beautiful, beautiful film, and it was a little film that could because we had no budget for Tejano. I got paid, but barely. And then all of a sudden, I started cleaning up at all these film festivals. And then a year and a half after that, HBO bought the streaming rights to it.
Wow.
So now, like the most illustrious work that I've been a part of. But yeah, it's a great thriller. It's a cartel thriller, and it was shot in the Rio Grande Valley, and I have family there, so I got to stay with them. And it showcases the valley in a place or in a way that no film has ever captured the valley. And so that way, I'm also proud that. And I was a token white guy in the film. I swear I'm the only white dude, but yeah, I loved being part of a film that highlighted a part of Texas and a part of like my childhood because I grew up visiting the valley
Right.
that the world doesn't know about. And Europe loved this film. All the European film festivals love this film because they didn't know that there were parts of America that looked like this.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
so crazy the different ways that people understand America. And it's important for our audience to note Brian is an Austin native, so he is
Born
from
and raised.
Texas, born and raised,
Mm-hmm.
but now he's based in LA where the industry lives. So Tejano, you said it's a cartel story, thriller.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyone who wants to watch it can watch it on HBO. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes. Look up Tejano, Tejano, and it will be streaming.
Tejano. That's great. So, any final thoughts for our audience on having a career in acting or comedy? Any tips, tricks?
Yeah, it's like I said, bake the cake first. I know that everyone watching this is going through their own cake building, their own cake baking experience. So you have lived a lot of life right now. You're going through it. And what you do now is entirely up to you. And I know that you've been placed in a system that is really betting on you to lose. And that sucks. And um, anything you could do to keep yourself healthy and mentally fit, maybe it's taking an acting class, because now you have this rich experience, and the world very well probably should be hearing your story. So maybe a good low stakes way to start is, maybe you don't want to be an actor. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to want to be in movies to be an actor. You can still express yourself doing local theater. You can still express yourself going to an improv class or an acting class and getting to know the people in that class too, because a lot of them are going to be in your kind of position, wanting to kind of try this for the first time. And they're going to have their own cake that they bring to class. So I will say, just continue to endure and take advantage of what resources are out there. Maybe join some acting Facebook groups. Just it's a grassroots thing now. The whole studio system has been busted to where you can now access some kind of media, some kind of representation in media directly these days. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be represented, you want to be heard, there are avenues. Maybe it's a podcast. You know, I'm currently working on a podcast right now, because you can't just do one thing anymore. You know, you have to represent any way that you can. If you have something that's worth being said, you have to find the way that it's going to be said. And maybe while everything's shut down, this is how I'm doing it. You know, so
I think great advice. Like, you have experience, you have a story to tell, and figure out how you want to tell that story. That's great.
Yeah.
I love
that's what it comes down to.
I think that's a great message for everybody. So thank you so much, Brian. We're so grateful to you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you, Kaitlin. I really enjoyed getting the chance to do this, and I hope that this video is useful to anyone who watches it. And I wish everyone nothing but the best, and just be safe and be healthy. And that's all I wish for any of you guys watching this video.
Thanks so much.